Okay, good morning everyone. Shalom Aleichem. I hope everybody's doing well. We're continuing in Mishna Berura Daf Hashavua. We're learning Hilchos Nasias Kapayim, Siman Kuf Chav Ches Seif Yod Aleph. Here we go. Kishemachzirin Pneim Klape Ha'am. When the Kohanim turn to the people, Mevarchen Asher Kiddushanu B'Kedushasoi Shel Aharon. You sanctified us with the sanctity of Aaron. V'tzivanu levareches Amal Yisrael be'ahava. And you commanded us to bless the Jewish people with love. So, just looking at the text of the bracha, there are two interesting diyukim. First of all, by every other bracha we say Asher Kiddushanu b'mitzvah. Why by Berachas Kohanim do we say Asher Kiddushanu b'Kedushasoi Shel Aaron? Why not b'mitzvah? Number two, V'tzivanu levareches Amal Yisrael be'ahava. Why do we make a bracha Asher lahaniach tefillin be'ahava, le'sateif b'tzitzis be'ahava, lahafresh chal min isa be'ahava? Since when do we put in the emotions we're supposed to feel in the text of the bracha? So regarding Asher Kiddushanu b'Kedushasoi Shel Aaron, the Maral in many places speaks about the difference between the number 7 and the number 8. The number 7 is associated with Teva, the number 8 is L'mala Min HaTeva. Mitzvahs are connected to Teva, Torah is connected to L'mala Min HaTeva. Kahuna is also associated with the number 8. The Kohen Gadol has 8 begadim, the Kohen Gadol sprinkles Achas Samala V'Sheva Lamata. Therefore, Kahuna is considered, in a way, above the regular gamut of mitzvahs, number 7. So it goes with number 8, and it has a special text. Not Asher Kiddushanu b'mitzvahsav, Asher Kiddushanu b'Kedushasoi Shel Aaron. Regarding Ahava, since when do we put in the emotion of the bracha? So those who were with us when we went to Italy, we went to the kever of Rav Moshe David Vali. Rav Moshe David Vali says that Ba'ava, it's a pasuk in Chumash. Which pasuk? It says, Amar Lahem. Literally, we translate it, say to them. But in Latin, Amar, or in Italian, Amar means love. Amora. So Amar Lahem means do it with love. Do it with love. So therefore, in the bracha, the mitzvah, it's not a hergish you have to feel. It's implicit in the bracha. Amar Lahem says, Asher Kiddushanu levareches Am Yisrael be'ahava. Okay. Says the Mishna Berura Sivkat on Mem, V'yesh me'rishonim shesvir lahu. What?
Yesterday's Mishna Berura towards the end of one of the pieces, might have glossed over it. He said that's why you're not allowed to have feel hatred. Because the bracha is ba'ahava.
You're now to feel hatred.
There's a small line at the end of it.
V'alzeh tiknu bebracha levareches Am Yisrael be'ahava. Right. Okay. You're saying that's why the Kohein... Yeah, okay, that is true. That is true. Okay, Mishna Berura Katan Mem, Shmachzirim Pneim, V'yesh me'rishonim shesvir lahu, the brachas u'mevarchim kodem shmachzirim Pneim. Even though the Mechaber says you make this bracha after they turn around, some Rishonim hold, you make this bracha before you turn around. V'hamadaktikim yotzin deishneim. Those who are careful, they fulfill both. Dahainu, shemaschilin ha'bracha ba'ochim Pneim klapei heichal. They started facing the Aron, uvesoich ha'bracha machzirim Pneim klapei ha'am v'goymim. And during the bracha, they turn around and they finish the bracha. Now, what does that mean? Toich habracha. The Chidah says in Berkei Yosef, the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch says, when they say Asher Kiddushanu b'Kedushasoi Shel Aaron, they are facing the Aron, and then after they say the word Aron, they say V'tzivanu, they turn around. However, the Chesed la'alafim and the Ben Ish Chai, they say the Kohanim should turn their faces before the word Ba'ahava. They Shel Avram Abu Chash says, all the Kohanim should do one thing. They shouldn't follow two different practices. I think that Kohanim turn around right before they say the word V'tzivanu. Now, why do I think that? I never looked, heaven forbid, even though, everybody thinks the worst Aveira in the world is to chas v'shalom see the Kohanim. Al pi halacha, it's not that strict, even though al pi Kabbalah, you have to be very careful about it. But I could just tell from the decibel level of the Kohanim, and also the emotion that they add when they have Vitzivanu, I could tell something's going on right before the Vitzivanu, it sounds like Baruch atah you hear Vitzivanu. Like, what are they getting so worked up about with the word Vitzivanu? I think it's because they turned around then, so they're primed to do it. But I don't know. I don't have any aerial evidence that, that's what they do at that time. I think that's what they do. Any Kohanim here? All these Yisraelim interested in Berchas Kohanim. It's great. Okay. Mevarchen, Hainu Shekula Mevarchen. They all make the bracha. V'loi she'echad yivarich v'acherim yanu amen. Not that one makes the bracha and others answer amen. Why not? Why not? Why don't we say Shemea Ka'ina? Magen Avram says Mibnei Hatiruf. They'll get confused. It comes from Shal Shechus Mabit that we're concerned because if they're going to answer Amen, they're going to come to make a mistake in the Berachas Kohanim. Fine. Sif Yud Beis. Magbiyim Yedem Kineged Kis Faiseim. They raise their hands opposite their shoulders. Umagbiyim Yad Yemanis Ktsas Lamal Masnos. They raise the right hand slightly above the left hand. So their hands are raised opposite their shoulders. Right hand above the left hand. Upoishtim Yedehem. They stretch out their arms. V'cholkim etzvoiseim. They split their fingers. Umechavnin lasos chamisha avirim. They make 5 air spaces. Bein shtei etzbois l'shtei etzbois avir echad. Uvein etzba legudol. Uvein gudol legudol. So between 2 fingers and 2 fingers, one airspace. And between the etzba and the goydel, another airspace, like this. Yeah. So you have 1 airspace here, 1 airspace here. So you'll say, but that's only 2 airspaces. And then, ubein gudo legudo, between the thumbs is another airspace. Uparsim kapeim, they stretch out their hands, kadei she'toich kapeim kineged haaretz, so that the palms of their hands are opposite the ground. Va'achoyre yedeyem kineged hashemayim, and the backs of their hands are opposite the sky, the heavens. Says the Mishnah Berurah Sivkat Mem Beis, Magbiyim yedeyem. The Gamrina and Bracha Zu, we learn out this bracha. V'imad chsiv vayisa Aharon es yadav el ha'am vayivarchem. Aaron raised his hands to the people and he blessed them. Harei ditzarach nasias yadayim. So we see you need to raise your hands. The way you raise your hand, the Dersha brings from the Kiryat Sefer. Kiryat Sefer. I think that's the Mabit. And the Ber Shava. The whole arm is considered Yad. So you have to raise your whole arm. However, the Avnei Nezer says it's enough to raise your hands. You don't have to raise the arm. That's an interesting machlokes. Do you only raise the hand? You could sit there and raise your hand, like that, or do you raise the whole? So the question is, it says Aaron raised his yad. Does yad include the zraya? It's an interesting machlokes. Does yad include the zraya? The Avnei Nezer says no, the yad does not include the zraya. Now, they do it like this. I think most people have in their minds, the Kohanim are like, they have their hands on high. Right? Well, let's take a poll now. Who thinks that the Kohanim raise their hands higher than their shoulders? Okay, unanimous. Everyone's afraid to say that that's what they think. Okay, so, but they don't. Are they allowed to? Are they allowed to raise it above their head, like in the Beis HaMikdash? The Ravid says, yeah, they're allowed to. This way, they're Mekayim, Vayisa Aaron es yadav el ha'am. The Zarua and the Reim say they're not allowed to. Why? Because the Shechina is not on their hands. And if they raise their hands, it's Mechsi Kiyuara. They're showing as if the Shechina is on their hands. And also, they might come to say the Shem HaMefayrash. Also, it's not covered for the tefillin to raise their hands above the tefillin. So now, if the reason is tefillin, then in Chutz La'aretz it's not nogeya, because we only duchen when we're not wearing tefillin. If the reason is that the Shechina is not on the hands of the Kohanim, al pi halacha, it's not. If I'm not mistaken, the Zayar says it still is. I wonder if that would change. Okay, in any event, they need to raise their hands keneged kisfeim. Whether they could raise their hands more than that is a question. Now, uvahaykra haksiv yadai. It says yadai, meaning the ksiv is yadai. It says yadav. The kri is yadav. The ksiv is yadai. Remez is like yosi yadai yachad. It's a remez. You have to lift one hand a little bit higher. Umistamahi hayimanis. Presumably that's the right hand. Now, raising their hands keneged hakisfayim is ma'akev. Raising one hand above the other is only al pi Kabbalah, the Hagois Maimonides says, and therefore it's not ma'akev. What does a lefty do? Does a lefty raise his left hand above the right hand? No. A lefty raises his right hand above the left hand, like everybody else. Next Mishna Berura, Yad Yimanis Ktsas, Mikol Makom Tzarech Zor She'aniach Gudol HaYamin Al Gudol HaSmol Shelo Yispardu, K'lo Yishaver HaChaloin. So you're putting the right, even though the right hand is above the left hand, but you want to put the right thumb resting on the left thumb, so that you don't ruin the window. To be on Hey Kavim, you need 5 Kavim. What are Kavim? V'im yispardu, if you separate the fingers, ein harevach shebein hayamin l'smal nechshav klal la'avir. It's not considered an airspace. So you need to have 5 airspaces. Now, I'm not sure how you have 5 airspaces. You have, when the 2 thumbs are touching each other, where is that 5th airspace? Anybody know? What are these 5 airspaces? You have here 1, you have here 2, you have between these fingers and this, but when the thumbs are together, where's the airspace? Going in the other direction? So you have one window facing one way and another window facing the other way? Alright, it's good to have windows in all directions. V'yesha kasvu. Some say shebein mila lamila, between the words v'choshkem ben bracha labracha, and certainly between the brachas yivarechacha yair and yisa rashay lekarv es hagudalim imo atzvais mishum ayifas. You could, sort of put your fingers back to a regular position, because it gets very tiring. It's not easy being a kohen, standing there, na 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 na. It's very tiring. That's why in some shuls they have a kiddush after duchening to feed the kohenim, because they get very tired. Okay. The cholkim etzvaysim, they split their fingers. The isa b'tanchuma parshas nasai, there's a medrash tanchuma nasai mashgiach min hachaloinois. You thought mashgiach min hachaloinois is your mashgiach is watching you from the window. No, it's the Ribono Shel Olam is watching you from the windows mibein etzvaysim shel kohanim, between the fingers of the kohanim. Meitzitz min hacharakim b'shash shaposhtim kapeim. Hashem is peering through the cracks when they duchen. Now, the Ataras Zakanim brings, based on the Zayar, that it is forbidden to stretch out your fingers for nothing, because it's ma'orer midas hadin and is goyrem klala. However, the Rivos Ephraim says that Reb Chaim Kanievsky told him that's only if you raise your hands above your head. But if you just put your fingers like that position, that's not a problem. Okay. One Sivkad Memhim Mechavden Lasis Chamishi, you want to make 5 airspaces. Remez Lazeh Mimad Siv Hacharakim Hecharakim, 5 cracks. Uparsim Kapeim Kedei Rotzalamer Loikimay Shenoisei Echad Yada Betfila Shu Noisei Yadav Klape Shamayim. Not like somebody raises his hands in tefillah where he raises his hand to heavens. No, it's keneged kisvayseim. I'm sorry. When somebody raises their hand in tefillah, his palms are heavenward. They go like this. Right? This is the Kohanim do it in this direction. Yeah? Have a good day, everyone. Bracha v'atzlacha. See you tomorrow. Be well.